What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Now in this video I'm going to be doing part 2 on Evelynn. So maybe about 3 or 4 weeks back now I actually did the first initial review on Evelynn, and in that video I mentioned that I will be doing a part 2. So what is this part 2 going to consist of? It's going to be a little bit shorter than the typical 30-35 minute long video I do. It's going to consist of 2 things. Number 1 is going to be the story. I did the bio last time I reviewed her, so yeah, this time it's going to be the story. And that's also going to be the login theme. Now I considered maybe adding in the voice lines, but when I looked at the voice lines, they're very similar to the special interactions I did in part 1. So yeah, the 2 things I'm going to be doing is the story and then the login theme. So without further ado, let's get into the story. Okay, let's go. The tallest Daisy. That face there is no Daisy. I can tell you that now though. Okay, so Evelynn slinked through the teeming streets, the shadows of her body blending seamlessly with the night. Her eyes glinted with the gloom, though only the keenest observer would have noticed. Drunks, sailors and harlots chatted in a nearby thoroughfare, blissfully unaware that they were being watched by a demon in the dark. The demon, on the other hand, saw them all with perfect clarity and judged them with the most discerning eye. Yeah, so she's probably looking for a particular type of person. Evelynn's gaze settled on a man lying in the gutter, a bottle of beet wine dangling from his hand. Ordinarily, the demon wouldn't give a second thought to someone in this condition, or in his condition. But she had not fed in days, and she found herself desperate enough to consider the man, if only for a moment. That's so grim, innit? It's almost like she needs to constantly kill to, like, it's like hunger, innit? She needs to constantly kill to, like, fulfill. Ooh. It would be so easy. All she needed was to lure him to one of the numerous alleys far from the glow of the street lamps. Though the thought perished as she watched a cockroach scurry across the drunken's face, this man was too inebriated to feel. His arousal would be vague and muted, with none of the urgent attention she loved to see in her victims before she brought them low. She might even flay an entire arm before he mustered a scream. Yep, that's what alcohol will do to you. Yeah. And that was the problem. Over the course of countless feedings, Evelynn had learned everything about her palate. She needed her victims to feel every prick, every bite, every bit of flesh she peeled away with her claws. A man in this condition would be dull and unfulfilling, scarcely worth her time. So there's obviously the tip. If you want to get away from Evelynn, just get drunk. You'll be alright. She dismissed the drunk and continued down the muddy promenade, past the windows of a dank, candlelit tavern. A fat, belching woman threw open its doors and stumbled out into the night, gasping a half-eaten turkey leg. You can see the scene, can't you? For a moment, Evelynn considered the woman, how she might woo her with an embrace, and then into the unspeakable hell that would follow. The demon watched as the woman wolfed down the rest of the meat, never tasting it. There was something deep inside her, a melancholy, I think it is, that would taint the experience. Yeah, I think it is. Evelynn preferred inflicting the pain herself. The demon moved on, gliding through the shadows of the town, over 2 more drunks, past a beggar asking for alms, between a couple in the midst of an argument. Evelynn found them all completely unappealing. Hurting them would be like plucking a flower that had already wilted, hence probably the title, the tallest daisy. She preferred her daisies tall and healthy, for those were the most satisfying to cut down. A dreadful thought overtook her. Perhaps she'd made a mistake choosing this wretched backwater as her hunting ground. Perhaps at any moment the thrill from her last victim might wear off, leaving only the nothingness, that utterly empty space inside her where feelings should be. And then she saw him. The gentleman was positively beaming as he exited one of the high-end pubs. He was dapper without being flashy, and he hummed a jaunty tune to himself as he set off down the street, with a bouquet of flowers tucked gingerly in the fold of his arm. The 2 lashes on Evelynn's back withered with excitement. Even from distance, she sensed that this man was completely content in his own skin. She dashed after the gentleman, taking great care not to lose track of her prey or to alert him to her presence. He walked for nearly half an hour before finally turning up a long way a long walkway towards a moderately sized cutstone manor. At the end of the path, the man stepped through the heavy oak door to his home. Evelynn held her unblinking gaze on the windows of the man's house as they lit one by one. Evelynn held her unblinking gaze on the window of the man's house as they lit one by one with warm candlelight. A slender, astute woman in a high-necked evening gown entered and greeted the man with a welcoming embrace. She feigned a slight surprise at the flowers he had brought before placing them in a clean vase right next to an old bouquet. The demon's interest grew. Moments later, two children scarcely out of diapers ran into the room and threw their arms around the man's legs, their wide grins sparkling with tiny teeth. Though the scene played like the epitome of domestic bliss, Evelynn knew what she would find if she probed just a little deeper. Let's find out. She waited patiently, watching the candles go out one by one until the parlour remained lit. The man was alone. Settling into a reading chair to draw on his pipe, Evelynn crept out the shadows, her dark, wispy limbs giving way to warm flesh. Her demonic lashes disappeared behind her back, revealing a sharply female form with curves too generous for any eye to ignore. You can believe that. Her hips waggled softly as she sauntered across the lawn to the window. She was nearly arm's length from the glass when she saw the man bolt upright from his chair at the sight of her, his pipe nearly falling from his mouth. Evelynn beckoned with a single finger, motioning to the man to join her outside. The man crept to the front door and opened it tentatively, curious to investigate the strange beauty lurking outside his window, as he probably would. He approached her on the lawn with great apprehension and greater anticipation. Who are you?" he asked timidly. "I am whatever you want me to be," assured the demon. Yeah. As Evelynn locked eyes with the man, she plumbed the depths of his soul and found exactly what she was looking for. That tiny lesion of discontent that festered within even the happiest person. There it is, she thought. All that he wants and cannot have. "My family," the man said, unable to finish his thought. The demon leaned close. "Shh, it's okay," she whispered in the man's ear. "I know what you want and the guilt you feel for wanting it. Let go." Oh man, so she just knows your weaknesses, doesn't she? She knows your weaknesses and all like your intimate desires and just obviously just uses them to her advantage. Yeah. She pulled back to find the man hopelessly captivated. "Can I have you?" he asked, ashamed of his brazenness, but overcome by a strange desire to take her right there on the lawn. "Of course, honey. That's why I'm here," said the demon. He touched her face with the tips of his fingers, caressing her cheek. She held his hand firmly to her skin and released a soft, sultry chuckle. That sweet, tender, happy man could be hers tonight. He had so much pain to give, and she would take it all. What, you have to kill him? Don't kill him. You mean, just be nice to him. You don't have to kill him. Come on. The shuffling of slippered feet sounded from the open doorway of the house. "Is everything okay, love?" asked the man's wife. "So I wonder if this is the picture." "Everything's going to be wonderful, my darling," the demon answered for the dumbstruck man. "The deal has become even sweeter and the prospects more enticing. There was one daisy in full flower to pluck, and one bulb to bloom while it watched." Ooh. Okay, I'm not quite sure. "There was one daisy in full flower to pluck," the man, and one bulb to bloom while it watched. So does that mean, right, okay, so she obviously gets pleasure from their pain. So the pain obviously is killing the guy, the full flower to pluck. And also the one bulb to bloom while it watched is the wife. She's obviously the bulb because she's got all this pain to be released by seeing her husband die, but it's not released yet until her husband does die. So yeah, it's a 2-for-1 for Evelynn. Sick. Wow. But no, that was good. That ties in nicely, obviously, once again, like they all do, with her bio. It's good to see, obviously, her adventures and how she obviously searches and has a particular taste for certain types of people as well. So that was good to see. Yeah, what a wicked demon. And I think, like I said in the first video, what you see is definitely not what you get. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go onto her champion theme, her login theme / screen. I'm going to watch that and I'm going to give my thoughts on that as well. So let's go. What a crazy picture. But that picture there for me sums up what I've just read. Just perfectly sums it up. Right, okay. Yeah, the music is it's so like seductive, isn't it? The music is so seductive, it's so sexy, it's kind of like mysterious as well, and that's all the elements you would call Evelynn, before she obviously reveals herself to be this demon that basically kills you in the slowest and most gruesome way. But before we get to that point, this so far just perfectly suits the character. And also, I was wrong, I said before, I wonder if actually this picture here is part of the story. It's not, but it's very similar though as well. You can obviously see it's some kind of king and queen, and that's what she likes. She likes a challenge. She doesn't like somebody that, I keep mentioned in the story, not a drunk. She wants somebody that seems to be happy, a challenge, someone that she can knock off their pedestal, because the further the fall, the more pain she can inflict and the more pleasure she gets. And this is a good example here. Yeah. I'm concentrating too much on the actual what I'm seeing. I need to concentrate more on what I'm listening to. You know. Nice, nice. And again. Yeah. It's good. That's good. This is good. Yeah, yeah. And that is the end of that one. Yeah. Yeah, okay, and I'm going to say this in every single one. Every single login theme is perfect, and this one perfectly, once again, suits her. The style, the actual pacing, the tempo of it is quite a low tempo, which suits her character. She is mysterious. She obviously hunts at night time, which you can clearly see here. And yeah, the music is just, it's sexy music, innit? It's sexy music, and it ties in obviously with the character, and or at least her guise, how she obviously like portrays herself until the final moment. Yeah, that's how she portrays herself. So yeah, I think it works perfectly. And also, I'm loving the actual theme, and the actual subtle animation as well is really good. It shows here as well that she now is, I'm presuming these are obviously her two tails or her spikes. She's obviously putting it into the guy, and that's where she gets her pleasure. She's obviously inflicting pain here, and that then becomes her pleasure. So it's her turn now to enjoy herself, which is grim. Really, really grim. But yeah, anyways, bit of a quick one today actually in comparison to previous actual champion reviews. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here today, guys, in this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the actual video. And if you did, feel free to let me know. Feel free to like, comment, and maybe also subscribe if you've not done so already. I go through a champion every single Thursday. Camille is going to be this Thursday, and I also try and do a part 2 as well when it's required on the weekend as well. So yeah, I think I'll leave it here today, guys, like I said before, and I will see you in the next one.